Hello again, it is me. So using the same glass, I'm going to be looking at the next beer, which is called Beerheads. Beerheads. Is that a good name for a beer? Beerhead. Sounds like an insult to someone. Like beerhead it's not a good insult, but it sounds like a childish insult to a man who drinks too much beer. You're a beerhead, mate. Pack it in. So it's made, I don't know if it's a brand, it's made by Golden Ale, which is in font that reminds me of one of my favorite arcade games as a kid, made by Sega, called Golden Axe. And that connotation makes me like this beer a bit more than I would have done if it was not called Golden Ale. In Japanese, it also says Golden Ale, which is reassuring. At the top of the can, it says O La Ho Beer. Ola Ho Beer. So is it a beer for hoes? That's the next question. Do hoes like beer? I thought, I don't know for a fact because I've never met a hoe, but I thought hoes would be drinking cocktails or something like that. Oh, on the other side, it gives you some interesting facts. Firstly, the first fact is that the word Golden Ale is too long to fit on one side, so they've split it into three. Golden Ale. Golden Ale. Also pronounced Golden Ale, but you wouldn't know that from this side. Underneath that, it tells you the alcohol percentage, which is 5%. Very precise. I'm sure it's not actually 5%, but probably around there. Then the next thing, it's got an IBU number. What is that? I obviously don't know what I'm talking about. An IBU number is 35. If you know what an IBU number is, great. The next number is an SRM number, which is a 3. And if you remember, our last beer was a 3. So if this beer ends up as a 3, I'm assuming that SRM is the meaning of how good it is. What could it mean, SRM? Super relax. Metric. Super relaxation metric, the SRM. So they claim it's a 3 out of 10, like the last one. Maybe it's a 3 out of 10. I have chilled it, which gives it a massively unfair advantage over the previous one. But, you know, you can't always have cold beer. You just, you know, it's just not possible. So you can't always test it the same way. This one is made in one of my favorite parts of Japan, famous for mountains, beautiful scenery, cheap houses, snowboarding and skiing, nice beer places, and something else I forgot. It's not important. Yeah, let's get inside and see how much froth comes out. None. Must be because it's cold. Let's get the pour in. Let's see how it pours. So, oh, it's a very easy pour. This is pours like Asahi Super Dry. See if we can get maybe we can get almost the whole can in the first time. Sorry, Satomi, but you can't read your name because the froth isn't enough. Let's give it a taste. So, again, this is not good. I think it's actually worse than the previous one, which was warm. It has very little flavour. I don't know how you describe it. It's not very bitter, it's not very sweet, it's not very thick, it's very light beer, but it's not very fizzy, it's quite flat. There's not much carbonation inside of the beer. I think it's nitrogen, not carbon dioxide. And the whole experience is underwhelming. It doesn't have a crisp taste. It doesn't have the punch of the fizz. It doesn't have a rich flavor. It's just very light. It reminds me mostly of drinking a glass of water. So this beer actually, well, let me show you. It tastes like a glass of water, but slightly alcoholic. I mean, let's take a time out and review the can design, because I do like a good can design. This one has looks like a school project where they've got like weird lines on it, and then they put a picture of a beer with an eye. So somebody sat down and they said, can you design a new can for our golden beer, this amazing golden beer? And they said the nickname of the golden beer is Beerheads. And what they designed was a beer with a big head and an eye. Nice one. And apart from being not very delicious, I don't know what else I can say. It doesn't even taste strong. It doesn't taste like a 5% beer. It tastes like a glass of water. Yeah, this is a very underwhelming beer. I don't know what occasion you'd want to have a beer that tastes like water. If it's a hot day, you have a barbecue, you're going to want something refreshing and crisp. If you're chilling with your friends in a pub, or, you know, like me, you drink by yourself at home sometimes, then you want something with a bit more of a rich flavour. And that's, I think that's also one of the reasons why you might go for a glass of wine. You know, it's a bit of more of a slow drinker. You might have a nice beer, and because it's got so much flavour, you might not want to drink it quickly. So you drink it slowly, enjoy the rich flavour, and it'll make you happy. And this one, it doesn't make me happy because it just doesn't have much taste. I mean, come on guys, you know, what are you doing over there in Nagano? You're making a beer, and you put all the things in the beer machine, and you must be doing stuff to the machine, putting the levers, and it comes out like this. It's fizzy water, slightly alcoholic fizzy water with a, I mean, let me taste it again. Bitter. Then it goes, and there's no bitter after that. There's no richness and depth to the flavor. It's very one-dimensional taste. It just yeah, it's just disappointing. If I were to sum up this beer with one word, it would be disappointing. It's a 2. 2's not good. 2, like, if you're gonna have a disgusting beer, it's gonna be a 1, because anything, you know, beer, you can't have a. Now, most beers are okay, you know, you can always drink it somehow, but coming up with maybe the 2's a bit harsh, but there's the other one was a 3. It's worse than the previous one, so it must be a 2. Oh, man, this is quite an expensive beer. I think I paid like $3 of American money, because I bought it at the same time as the last one, so the yen was the same value at the time. It was like $3 for this small can of beer. You know, what else can you buy for $3? You could have got three pencils from the 100 yen shop, or 3.5, because it is a bit more than 300. But let's crack on with the next taste. What it reminds me of most is, you know, you go to an Italian restaurant and they might give you sparkling water. This is the beer equivalent of a sparkling water. You could drink this at lunchtime, go back to work, and no one would know that you've had any alcohol. I doubt there is any alcohol inside of it, actually. It'd be impossible probably to get wasted on this beer, and also be very expensive because it doesn't have much impact. It's just, you drink it and you know, why not have a glass of water? Maybe there's one sip left. See, what I tend to find is that when you get down to the bottom of the beer, the bitterness tends to go and you don't taste it so much. And this is nothing rewarding. It's not, it doesn't do anything for you. This brewery. Oh, I found some more beer. I'll take that. I mean, this place is in Nagano, famous for the mountains and famous for snow, clean water. And maybe they've taken that philosophy of the cleanness of ice water and they've made a beer. Maybe that's what they're trying to do, like snowflakes. And they're trying to say that our beer is like clear as a mountain lake full of ice water. And if you drink our beer, it will remind you of a mountain stream. And it does remind me of a mountain stream because a mountain stream is full of water. And this beer tastes like water. So maybe they've done a good job. Maybe this is exactly what they wanted. Maybe it's not. If it was my beer factory, I'd be not happy putting this stuff out. Don't know who buys it. Maybe they're counting on the fact that you would drink one beer, and maybe, like in Japan, there's how many million people? 160 million people, and I think the number of people over 20 is probably 159 million. There's no children here anymore, so everyone's an adult. There's a big market for beer, and if everyone buys one beer, that's 160 million cans of beer, but the next year your sales are going to be zero, so you're going to have to start exporting this stuff. And now the end's cheap. Maybe this is their plan. Maybe they're thinking once everyone in Japan's tasted it and realized it's not good, export markets, get it overseas, play on the Japan image, Nagano, golden eru, and have a beerhead. We become beerhead. All right, beerhead. Yeah, weird. I kind of feel bad I spent so much money on this beer. It doesn't, I don't like complaining about stuff. I like to say nice things, but this one, it's not nice. It's not, I will finish it, of course. Maybe this beer is for people who don't like beer. You know, you go, if you don't drink much beer, maybe you really like drinking, or maybe you prefer wine, or maybe, you know, this is not for you. And maybe you think, I want an easy to drink beer. It doesn't taste like beer. Maybe you like water. Be a beerhead. Beerhead. I'm sorry. Tommy, Nagano, Japan. I don't know the name of the brewery. My Japanese is not very good, so I can't read everything, but maybe the brand is the Ola Ho beer, because it says O exclamation mark la exclamation mark Ola, and the third word is ho beer, beer for hoes. I think this is disrespectful to hoes, because a hose deserve better than this, for sure. The last sip actually tasted better than all the previous ones, which is not how it should be. I want to give this a 2. I really want to give this a 2. But it's a little bit better than a 2. So that would mean it's a 3. However, the previous one was a 3, and it was much better than this. And since I really want to give this one a 2, I'll give it a 2. So Beerheads, you get 2 points. It is not a good score. Goodbye.